Boys and girls, happy Friday. I hope everybody's doing awesome. Let's just go ahead and jump right in with what we're going to do for ELA today. All right, so our standard, remember, is describe the relationship between a series of historical events, scientific ideas, or steps in technical procedures in a text using language that pertains to time, sequence, and cause and effect. So we've finished the cause and effect piece. Today, we're going to start with our steps in technical procedures. Using language that pertains to time and sequence. All right. So our essential question, why is it important for me to follow steps of a procedure? Today, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the BrainPop video on sequence. We're going to learn what a procedure is. We're going to learn why it's important to follow the steps of a procedure. We're going to learn what would happen if I did not follow the steps of a procedure in chronological order. And I'm going to talk about what that word means. And then we're going to read a procedural text and answer some questions about the steps. Finally, you're going to write the steps to a task in Canvas as your assignment. So let's start with the BrainPop video. I'm going to move myself off the screen so that way we have the entire video.
You should read this book next, Moby. It's called Superbot and the Art Thief. I love this book because the plot is really exciting. The plot is all the events that happen in a story. Events in a story occur in a certain order. What is sequence? Sequence is the order in which things happen or are described. Uh-oh. Somebody is up to no good. To hatch her latest plan, the evil Dr. M breaks into the art museum. Then she steals the most famous painting in the world. Quick, turn on the signal. Meanwhile, a mild-mannered robot named Mobius D. Bot quietly eats his lunch. When he sees the signal, he springs into action. This looks like a job for Superbot. Superbot chases the evil Dr. M through the city. Next, he chases her through the park. After that, he chases her through the zoo. The evil Dr. M gets away, but Superbot doesn't give up easily. The evil Dr. M passes by a store. She just can't resist going inside. But it's a trap. Superbot saves the day. Finally, the painting is back in its rightful place. Transitions can tell you about the sequence of events. What are transitions? A transition is a word that connects ideas together. First, second, third, then, next, and finally are all transitions that describe the order of events. Before, after, later, while, and meanwhile are also transitions that tell about time. Sometimes transitions are called signal words because they're a signal for you to pay attention. As you read, look for transitions that tell you about the sequence. The transitions in this recipe tell you what to do in a certain order. First, cut the carrots. Second, cut the onions. Third, cut the celery. Before you fry them, add salt and pepper. That means the fourth step is to add salt and pepper. After that, you fry the vegetables. How can you take notes on the sequence of events? It's helpful to take notes on the sequence in a graphic organizer. I'm going to use these notes later to help me write a book report. In nonfiction writing, there might be dates and times that tell you when important events happened. You can make a timeline to help keep track of them. Informational writing might explain something or teach how to do something. You can make a flow chart to help you keep track of all the steps. It's a chart that shows what to do first, second, third, and so on. Sometimes the order of events isn't so clear. How can you make inferences about the sequence of events? When you infer, you use what you know or see to come up with an idea. As you read, use clues to make inferences about the sequence. After the evil Dr. M escaped, Superbot came up with a plan. Later, the evil Dr. M fell into his trap. I think Superbot's trap probably took a while to set up. So I can infer that the second part of the story happens later. When I read, I picture what happens in my mind. It helps me understand and think about what I'm reading. I wonder what will happen in the next book. What do you think, Moby? Whoa! Moby?
All right. So, let's talk about what a procedure is. A procedure is a set of steps you follow to do something. A recipe is an example of a procedure. So here is a recipe for Hershey's Easy Pizza Brownie. It tells you all the things that you have to get, and then it tells you the steps. So why is it important to follow the steps of a procedure? Well, first, we need to make sure we have all of the ingredients before we start cooking, because if we don't have them, we might have to stop in the middle of baking and go to the store. And if you let it sit there for too long, it might ruin our pizza brownie. Next, the second part of the recipe are the directions. The directions are a numbered list of things that you need to do in order to successfully bake the pizza brownie. You have to follow them in order or the recipe is not going to work. What happens if you don't follow the steps in order? Well, if I tried to bake my pizza brownie before I even heat the oven, which is our first step, let me go back a little. Which is our first step, heat the oven to 350. If I tried to bake my pizza brownie before that, the brownie won't cook. The pizza brownie won't cook. It'll be raw. If I forget a step, I might miss the ingredients, and then I won't have a complete dessert. If I try to mix the batter after I try to bake it, it's just going to crumble and ruin, and the dessert's going to be a big mess. And if I don't follow the directions to try to how long to cook it, then it's just going to come out burnt. All right. So how does this work when reading? When we read a text with directions or steps, it's really important to follow the directions in chronological order. And when I'm looking at this word chronological order, I have an asterisk here. That tells me that I'm going to need to go to the bottom in order to figure out what that word means. And that word, chronological order, those words mean in order of time, or the order of things that, in the order things are supposed to happen. If we don't follow directions in order of first, next, then last, we might mess something up along the way. Are these images here in order for the steps that you need to follow to get ready for bed at night? Is the first step to go to sleep, and then to yawn, and then to brush your teeth, and then to read, get a bedtime story read to you? No, those steps are all out of whack. First, what you're going to do is you're probably going to say, oh, I'm tired. And then you're going to need, it made me yawn. You're going to need to brush your teeth before you do anything else. Then you're going to get a bedtime story read to you, and then you're going to fall asleep. All right. So we are going to be reading this passage, and then I am going to be answering these questions with you. So the first thing we need to do is we need to read. It says, let's make a snowman. Children are usually excited when it snows outside because they might get a day off of school. They usually will want to go outside and play in the snow doing various activities. One of the most fun things you can do when it snows is to construct a snowman. Building a snowman isn't hard, but you have to dedicate some time to perfecting it. The first thing you will need to do when building a snowman is to make a snowball as round as possible. Then you will set it down on the ground and roll the snowball in more snow so it continues to grow. Once it is enormous, you'll have the base of your snowman finalized. Next, make another snowball and roll it in the snow again. Do not stop rolling it until this one is medium sized and smaller than the base of the snowman. Then make another snowball and roll it around. This will be the smallest part and it will be the head. Stack the medium snowball on the largest one and arrange the smallest one at the top of the medium snowball. The body of the snowman is completed and it's time to decorate your snowman. Get materials for arms, eyes, a mouth, a nose, and any other extra decorations you will want. Apply these to your snowman to make it unique and personalized. Make sure to give the snowman a hat, scarf, and other accessories so it will appear fashionable and stylish. Our question says, what would happen without the first step? So our first step, if we go back, it says the first thing you will need to do when building a snowman is to make a snowball as round as possible. If we did not make that snowman as round as, if we did not make that snowball as round as possible, what would happen? So the thing that would happen about the first step is the body of the snowman would not be the right shape. Because if we didn't make it as round as possible, it could turn out to be a square, it could turn out to be an oval, it could turn out to be a rectangle. That would just be crazy. Now we have to explain the two middle steps. And the two middle steps are to roll, set it on the ground, and roll the snowball in more snow so it continues to grow. And you're going to do that. So we need to explain, why do we need to do these steps? Well, the two middle steps are to roll the snowballs in more snow to make them bigger. These, now we have to explain it. Steps are used to help you get a bigger snowball, because if we did not do these, the snowman would be tiny. All right, this next question says, explain why you need to decorate the snowman after stacking the snowball. Now, I think that it's more personalized. So you need to you need to decorate also, if you tried to decorate them before stacking, all of the decorations might fall off when you try to stack them. All right. The next question says, what step do you think is the most important? I think the most important step, me personally, you might have a different one. This is all opinion. But the most important step, in my opinion, is making the base the biggest snowball. Because if you did not, the snowman would be lopsided. And what that means is that it might have a bigger head than its body, and then it just looks crazy. I know Olaf looks like that, but traditional snowmen have a bigger bottom than a medium middle and a smaller head. This last question says, describe the relationship between the steps in making a snowman. So, how do these steps relate? These steps all relate to each other. Oh, each other is two different words. Because if you do not do the step before correctly, the snowman will not turn out perfect. All right. So your assignment today when you get into Canvas, very easy assignment. What you're going to do is you are going to come into Canvas, click today's day. You're going to click this submit button. And then it says today your assignment is to type the steps to making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Please make sure to number your steps. You're going to click submit assignment. You're going to type your steps, and then you're going to click submit assignment again. That's it. That's your assignment. All right, boys and girls, good luck with this. I hope you have a great day. See you guys next week. Bye.